I keep seeing viral AI editing videos, and most of them are hype nonsense. However, it is possible. What's happening right now, though, is a lot of people are talking about AI editing, and very few of them are actually doing it. This video that you're watching right now on YouTube was fully edited by artificial intelligence, as have the last few videos, and some of them have done very, very well. They all start from a live stream that I shoot during the morning. It's messy. It is full of errors, it's got tangents, me answering questions, having back and forth, and then it pulls a clean script, creates an edit decision list, makes the cuts, checks the render, the packaging, puts it on YouTube and adds thumbnails. The whole shebang is all done now by artificial intelligence. In fact, I have recently let go our editor as a result of this. 3 months ago, this could not be done dependably. It was an absolute mess. Now it can be done using Claude Code and Codex, but it is not as simple as some people will make you believe. So I'm going to walk you through what the actual workflow looks like, how you can set it up yourself so that you can basically have a full-time editor working for you for a very, very low cost. So I'm going to be looking at the local tools, what parts you need to host using Claude Code or Codex, for example, the bits I still check manually, what I've got to so far, and what I'm going to be adding in the future. I'm going to be walking you through the whole thing. This is a work in progress. Do be aware of that, but I'm going to be revealing everything that I've done so far, and hopefully it's going to be useful for you. So let's jump in. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, this has been AI edited, but there's also a few others. This one recently, which went to about 5,000 views, which is good for me. I'm a relatively small channel. This was entirely created by artificial intelligence. You can see it cutting back and forward. You can see different decisions. You can see things like subscription buttons popping up at the end as well, call to actions, bringing you to my website, etc. That was all done using artificial intelligence, whereas previously I used to hire an editor who was about $1,000 a month. Apologies to him, but now the AI can do the work. So this is very, very doable. It's just not necessarily what people are selling on social media. This is not just drop a video into Claude and say, edit the video for me. No, it's a little bit more complicated, and I want to show you what it looks like. So the dream is that you're going to tell Claude, you're going to tell Codex, here is a video, edit it, make it look cool, add some pop-in effects, whatever, and then publish it and help me go viral. That is not yet happening. So anyone who's selling you that on Instagram or TikTok are probably not actually doing this process because it doesn't work. Not yet. A year from now? Yeah, maybe, potentially, but right now, no, that is not the case. Instead, what we can do is we can build a workflow. We can build a pipeline that is going to edit our material and is going to get it into a good shape, which we can then publish, including long form videos like this one that's going on YouTube. Instead, what we do is we get the video, we transcribe it into text, and we can do that locally. I'll show you how in a moment. We use that text to create something called an EDL, an edit decision list. And that edit decision list is then used with, again, local tools, and I'll show you which ones I use in a moment, to make the cuts. And it's going to make the cuts between and then join the video together and make sure that there's no weird jump cuts, that suddenly a sentence isn't cut off. That's all going to be done by the AI. It's then going to render it locally, again, on your computer. So we're not using tokens. We're not using anything in the cloud here. We're doing it locally. And then it will run some quality assurance passes, watching the video, making sure that it's not a complete mess before adding on titles, effects, call to actions, etc., and then posting it up onto YouTube as a draft, adding thumbnails, adding description, etc., etc. So this is what I personally do. I do a live stream right now. This is being recorded as a live stream. I'm on multiple platforms. I'm talking to my camera. Specifically, I'm using something called Ecamm. You can use any tool. You can use TikTok Live Studio. You can use OBS. Doesn't really matter. I'm using Ecamm to go to multiple streams at the same time. This stream will probably be about an hour long, but the video that comes out of it will be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending, basically cutting out a lot of the fluff because I do talk a lot. That transcript will then be processed through these different steps until it is ready and sitting in my YouTube, ready for me to publish it. So personally, I'm using, I'll go through all of this, I'm using a Sony EV10 camera with a prime lens. That's what you're looking at right now. It records in 4K at 30 frames per second. I could do it at 60 frames per second, but then that limits where I can stream to. It's because most of the platforms, including LinkedIn, only take up to 30 frames per second. So that's why I'm doing it in 30 frames. doesn't really matter. It's shooting in 4K, looks pretty crisp. I'm using a DSLR. You could use a webcam, you could use a DJI, doesn't matter. Don't stress too much about it. That is coming into a piece of software called Ecamm that I use, which will send it out to different channels. So I'm currently live this very moment on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. What will then happen after I finish up this stream, I will have the raw MP4 files. These are the movie files. They sit on my computer. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to put them into an editing flow because they're massive. 4K video, 10 minutes is about 6 gigabytes. So you end up working with these absolutely gigantic files. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use something called Whisper to transcribe from those videos. And what we're doing there is we're turning the video into text. And guess what is really good at working with text? AI. Once it has this transcription, which has all of the time codes and all of the things that I'm saying, it can take that script and it can use that to decide where we should be removing sentences, what parts don't really make sense, any tangents that we could just completely remove. Also, any top and tail. So at the beginning of this, I was futzing around, swearing to myself, couldn't get something working. It will just cut all of that out and it will start it at the beginning. And equally, if I'm answering questions at the end of the live stream, it will cut that out so that we have a nice clean package. Obviously, you're going to give instructions about what you want to leave in, what you don't want to leave in, but it's going to be able to do that for you. And if you have not started with a live stream, this applies just as well. You're going to talk directly to camera and you're going to say to it afterwards, hey, remove bad takes. So if I took 3 or 4 takes in order to get across an idea, a sentence, the AI is going to be able to see that in the transcript and excise it, remove it from the edit decision list. So this part is done hosted. I will do local recording onto my Mac. I will do local transcription on my Mac using Whisper. And again, Codex and Claude Code set this workflow up for you. What I do use a cloud model for at the moment is the edit decision list. So I send the transcript with the time codes up to Codex 5.6 Sol at the moment, just use a smart model basically, and it will work out where those cuts need to be. It will then send those instructions back to Codex or Claude Code, whatever you're using, and then on your Mac, again, locally, so you're not wasting any tokens here, the video will be cut up using something called FFmpeg. I've never actually said it out loud. This is a free piece of software. This is something that Claude Code or Codex will automatically install, or you can grab it from GitHub yourself. And it basically allows the AI to edit video based on that edit decision list. And then there's a few other things you can do. You've probably heard of Remotion. You've probably heard of Hyperframes. These are ways that we can add a bit of spice to our edit. Right now, I'm not using them that extensively because my videos are mainly talking head, but Remotion allows you to agentically work with video. It allows you to animate using drag and drop, make videos programmatically, so connect them to data sources, insert in data, etc., etc. Hyperframes tends to be more for animations. So Hyperframes is an open source framework for turning HTML, CSS, media, and seekable animations into deterministic MP4 videos, basically animations. You can make cool looking things like this inside your video. These are the kind of viral tools, and you can plug them directly into Claude Code or into Codex and have them work for you. Think of them as tools that the AI is going to be working with in order to improve your video. Right now, I'm using them very sparingly. I'm using them for some animations, telling people to subscribe, telling people to sign up. So when all of that is done, Codex will do a couple of quality passes where it will go through, retranscribe, and do spot checks like screenshots of the video just to make sure that everything looks okay, that there are no cut-off sentences. And sometimes it will take 2 or 3 passes to do that. That's absolutely fine. It'll be done locally, and the whole process takes less than an hour, so it's not really a problem. One very important thing, this has all been done on a lower resolution file, so I have it do it on a 720p file rather than a 4K file, just so that my computer isn't on fire. So again, this is something that Claude Code will probably work out. If it doesn't, just say, hey, use a proxy file, use something a bit smaller when you're doing your edits, because we don't need that full 4K Reddit all of the time. When, though, we go up to YouTube and Codex will post directly for you, it can connect to your YouTube, then it's going to render a 4K version and upload that 4K version into YouTube for you. It can also, if you're using Codex in particular, generate thumbnails for you. It can generate 3 thumbnails, that's what I personally do, 3 different YouTube packages, which will then be tested one against the other. Very importantly, do not remove yourself entirely yet. These tools are still a bit fussy, and this is why when people say you can just upload a video into Claude Code and it will do all the editing for you, they're basically talking shit. They haven't actually done it. There's some things that it's very good at. It's good at transcripts. It's good at the draft cuts, the actual rendering stuff, anything that's mechanical, adding captions, packaging, like making YouTube thumbnails, YouTube descriptions, YouTube titles. Fine, AI is very good at that. You still need to put good quality content in. If you give shit to a model, it will edit it very nicely, but you are still just packaging a turd. Doesn't really matter. So you need to be able to give it something that is worth editing. We can't get around that. Sorry, the edit is not going to help you if the core content is not particularly useful. Same with performance. It's up to you to be, wow, as soon as I say this, I start stumbling over my words. It's up to you to be fluid on camera. It's up to you to be able to perform and to be able to hold attention. That's still on you. Yes, you can use AI avatars, but I wouldn't personally. That is a race to the bottom. And then there are a few human steps that are still in place. I highly recommend at this point, until the AIs get much, much, much better, still giving it a visual pass. That means watching the video, especially the first 30 seconds a minute, just to make sure that AI hasn't totally flubbed. When I was setting this up, I'd have instances where the sound was just totally out of sync with what I was saying on screen. The AI hadn't picked up on it, so but obviously immediately as soon as I had a look at it, I was like, well, that's entirely out of sync. Go back to the drawing board. So you still need to do this at least a few times. The good news is, if you are working with a smart system, a smart model, Claude Code with Fable, for example, or Codex with a Soul model, or GPT-6 when it comes out, every time you catch the editor doing something wrong, it will learn from that. So it's going to start to learn and not do those mistakes in the future. So it means the first few videos you do will probably take you longer than if you had done them yourself. But as it learns and gets better and better over time, that is going to be less and less the case. Very, very cool. So now I can just leave my editor running pretty much unattended, and it will give me a high quality draft. 3 months ago, this was not possible. I have been trying, God, for the last year or so to build out an AI editor like this. Probably more than that. Yeah, more than a year. And it was not possible because the models weren't good enough. They were not able to reliably create an edit decision list. They were not able to use tools like FFmpeg and Remotion and Hyperframes with any degree of reliability. We've reached a point where they are. The top level models from Anthropic, the top level models from ChatGPT can now do this stuff in their sleep. This is very, very simple for them now. It is not so simple that you just give them a video and they will work out the whole thing. You still need to walk them through this process. You still need to have them build out the pipeline, but it is very doable. If you subscribe to the newsletter, I will put a guide in Friday, like walking you through the actual step-by-steps, how you can actually create this. Or if you're watching this on YouTube later, check below the video and there should be a link which will allow you to download a guide which will walk you through the actual steps to build this out for you. So the one button dream, edit this for me, is hype. It is not true. And anyone selling that on TikTok, on Instagram, isn't actually editing their videos using AI. They're probably still hiring somebody or using some piece of trash tool that over edits absolutely everything. If you want a decent edit, and you want something that doesn't look like AI trash, AI slop, you still need to build out a pipeline yourself. It is very doable, but it is not quite as easy as some people are saying. So know what this pipeline is, work with Codex, work with Claude Code, and you will be able to build this. Check below the video, subscribe to the newsletter, and I will give you the full guide walking you through step by step. This has just been an overview because it's relatively technical, but I will give you all of these different tools that you're going to plug into it. So HeyGen, Hyperframes, Remotion, FFmpeg, etc., so that you can set this all up yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter at aiwithkyle.com and to the YouTube channel, where I'm going to be bringing you more practical artificial intelligence guides without the hype, without the bullshit. See you soon.